What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. For those of you who are new here, I post lifestyle and travel videos on Mondays and Thursdays. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell if you want to stay notified. So this is my first sit down video, and I'll be honest, I filmed 3/4 of this already and then my camera died. So let's do this again and let's hope that it's just as good. So you probably guessed what this video is about, but I am going to Spain for 5 weeks. I'm so excited. I'll get into it, but I just want to give you a bit of like a backstory, especially for those who don't really know me. So I've always been into traveling. I've traveled my entire life. My parents both worked in the airline industry, so we were pretty fortunate growing up that we were able to travel quite frequently growing up. So I feel like it's just like part of my DNA at this point. I absolutely love seeing new places. I love being immersed in new cultures. I love trying new food. I love seeing like monuments and different architectural structures. I love castles. That's like my main thing. I love beaches, salt water. Just, I love it all. I love it all. But my main thing that I'm obsessed with is Europe. I love going there. I try and go there every year, and I have not had a year fail me yet. So fingers crossed 2020 and 2021 and 2022 and all of the above keeps up with that. So travel is like a huge part of my life. I've always wanted to move abroad and live there for a long period of time. The thing is, when I was growing up, I never really had the courage to move there by myself, and I didn't really have anyone in my life who shared that same dream. So I kind of always put it on the back burner. I always lived at home growing up. Even through school I lived at home, so I never really ventured that far from my family. So the idea of being away from them really scared me, and yeah, I just chose to put that idea at the back of my mind versus making it happen. But I'm okay with that. I still want it to happen one day, and I still hope that it'll happen one day. So yeah, that brings us to today. So Daniel and I are very similar. We both love to travel. We both love to experience new cultures and just kind of like be immersed in different cities and different ways of life. We both have a very unconventional way of living and our idea of like our perfect lifestyle. So I think that's a big thing that ties us together. Our goals, our values, everything is really aligned. So we talk about this all the time. We talk about the idea of moving somewhere else, wanting to explore, moving from place to place, like not necessarily being like super settled somewhere, at least like not right now. And a little bit more of a backstory. Daniel, for the past 2 years, has been learning to speak Spanish. He's always had a goal to learn a second language, and Spanish is that language. So he's been pretty actively learning the language, and he's really good at understanding it. He watches quite a bit of Netflix and YouTube videos in Spanish. He can understand when people talk to him. He has a tutor. He's done all the like courses and self-learning programs you can think of. So he's definitely like peaked at where he can kind of consume content. So he's looking for the next step of being immersed in that language and hearing and listening to people who speak the language. And we can't really get that where we live, which is in Canada, specifically Ontario. So when we talked about it more and more and about traveling, I just started working for myself in September. So I'm very flexible because all the work that I do is online. So it doesn't really matter where I work. So yeah, we originally were gonna go to Spain for several months, but after talking it out more in depth, we decided that we should go there for a longer period of time, but not as long. And we wanted to really pick apart different areas of the region that we wanted to live in and be there for a little bit to make sure that we liked it, because we didn't want to lock into a place and get there and really not love it at all. So we are going to Spain for 5 weeks. I'm so excited. So we leave at the end of March. We are going into April, so we'll be coming back right before May, obviously, if you can do the math. Yeah, we are specifically going to Granada. So we are starting our trek in Tenerife, which is just off the Canary Islands. I really hope I'm saying all this right and not mixing anything up. So we're gonna start our trip on a little island and just kind of chill. We are literally right on the mountainside. So like you look over your balcony and it's just a drop of water. It is so beautiful. The sunsets, it's gonna be great. We're just gonna relax for the first 4 days or so. And then we're gonna make our way over to Granada, which is at the south of Spain. It's not completely coastal, so it's not on the water, because we wanted to be in a city setup of Spain, because we've both been to Spain, we've both been to different areas, and one of the biggest attractions we have to Spain is just like, if you've ever been, you know, but if you haven't been, like when you're in the city, it is so vibrant. The food is so good. You can just walk down the streets. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like it's buzzing. Like everything's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. See, I think this is the thing with travel. It's just like you either have that feeling or you don't. But it's just amazing. So we really wanted to be in the city and like really immersed in that pocket versus being on the coastal side, which is just as beautiful and is very unique, but it brings in more tourists just because it is on like a waterfront. Does that make sense? Yeah, so we're in Granada. One of the reasons we chose Granada is because it's actually known for not having a lot of English. Who knows if that's true, like neither of us have been there, so this is just from reading things online. And that is the main goal for Daniel. Like he doesn't want to be somewhere where, for instance, like Barcelona, where everyone is speaking to him in English, because they can tell that he's technically not Spanish. So we're gonna choose Granada. I'm obviously gonna struggle, but I do speak French, and I know it's not the same language, but they do have a lot of overlap, and I'm really hoping it helps me a little bit, but I know how to ask for a coffee, so we're good. Yeah, so we're going there for 5 weeks. The plan for the 5 weeks is actually just to chill. Like we don't have anything crazy planned. We really do want to immerse ourselves there. I'm still going to be working, so I'm planning to still work 8 hours a day, hopefully. Who knows like what those times will look like, but I still have a ton of work that I'm bringing over there. So we want to do a lot in the city, just like walking around, a lot of eating, a lot of talking. We want to be kind of like corny and join those like Facebook community like meetup group, expat groups, you know, and talk to a lot of people. We want to learn more about renting property over there and what it's like. So we're hoping to book some time with kind of like a rental agency to look at places and see what it costs, see what it's like, all the like, I don't know, the nitty gritty of like how you could rent a rental property there. What else? We're going to be doing a lot of day trips, so I do want to go to the beach quite a bit. It is in the south of Spain, so at that time it will be around like the low to mid 20s, so it won't be crazy hot, but it'll still be beautiful compared to what we're used to here in Ontario, which is snow and rain, other than like 2 months of the year. Yeah, so that is the plan, which is so exciting. And yeah, we're just gonna be doing a lot of that and just kind of taking in and soaking in as much as we can. Granada is known as like a transport hub, so you can get to a lot of places from it. So whether it's by train, car, and I think even by boat if you go a little bit down to the coast. So not necessarily Granada, but like close enough to the coast to be able to take a boat. And also plane. There is like a a small airport, like I think just outside of the city. I could be mixing all of this up. But yeah, and so we are planning to do a lot of day trips. We want to see a lot of the cities around it, because if we were to decide to do a longer trip there or move there, we want to check out the surrounding areas, just so we're not obligated, or we're not expected to stay in like one area. So a lot of times when you Google stuff, you see like the main cities and kind of like the touristy places or ones that are more populated, whereas a lot of the surrounding cities that are maybe a bit smaller have just as much to offer. So yeah, that is our Spain update, which is so exciting. I hope it turns into a long-term situation, but I'm gonna be blogging and vlogging the entire thing. So up until like packing to traveling to being there, I'm gonna have a whole series. If you've been to Granada, or even if you're from Spain, or if you've lived in Spain, or if you know anything, drop a comment below. I would love to pick your brain. I'm so curious. I've literally reached out to so many people who I know have been to the area. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience. Also, if you've lived abroad, I would love to hear that too, because I'm so curious, because there's obviously so much more to it than just like packing a bag and going. So let me know. But yeah, so stay tuned, and thanks so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, show some love, and I will see you on Monday for my next week in my life video.